Okay. Okay, everybody, here we go. This is a demo on how to use paper as a stencil for screen printing. So I'm going to cut this out and then I'll place it on the screen so that you can kind of see what we can do with it. But I'm going to use this to put onto this bad boy. So I'm going to cut out this image so that we can use it as a stencil on our screen. So I'm going to set the screen over there. And what I'm going to do is, this is an image that I created for the lino cut project. I'm just going to try to recreate it for here, but I'm not going to make all these lines. I think I'm going to just cut out, because I can't really save all those lines. I'm going to just cut out these basic shapes, and we'll see how it prints next week. And see what we need to add to it. Now I can save these things because I could use these for later. I could use these for some other purpose later. Make sense? So I could use this later if I wanted to. So sometimes it's good to save those. So I'm just using a blade. You can use an X-Acto blade. Be careful. And what this is going to do is this is going to create a stencil that keeps the ink from going through the screen. So I know some of you asked that question earlier today, is how do you keep the ink from going all over the place? Well, in this case, the paper is going to keep the ink from going every place, but the ink will go through here. The ink will go through here. But it won't go through where the paper is. So some of this you have to just be willing to wait and to see how it looks after you print. And then after a while, you get kind of accustomed to anticipating what something might look like. In the beginning, you just have to kind of like go for it and see what happens. It's kind of an experiment in the beginning. So this is a very traditional way of making stencils for screen printing. You can cut them really laborious. If I wanted to, I could cut these. Since these are connected, I could cut those lines out. Maybe we could do that for a couple of these. We'll just see what happens. I could just go here, go here, go here, and here, and just cut out the skinny lines. You see how I just cut out the skinny line there? So I just cut out the skinny ones, but maybe I won't do all of them. I'll just do every other one. And so this is a really fun way to make screen prints, because you could cut something like this in your room, you know, out while you're out and about. You don't have to be in the studio to do this. You can kind of do this wherever you have access to something flat and a blade, right? So that's the cool thing about the stencil. Whereas the tape, you need to kind of be there or you need to be someplace where your screen is, and the screen's kind of big and unwieldy. So this is called making a hand-cut stencil. I think I'm just going to cut this one out. This is just to show you there's different ways of doing it. And you can be as fussy or as loose as you want. And then when we get to go to put this on our screen, we're all ready to go. We don't have to do any really much extra work except for maybe tape the paper down to the screen, or to tape it, the mask out the areas on the outside of the screen. And I'll show you what that looks like here in a second. Oops. It's okay, you can tape that later. So there, I've just made a stencil. I'm hand cutting it. I've made some skinny lines, and I made some big lines. So now what we do, and this is just from the newsprint that's in your kit, so you don't need to get any special paper to do this. Newsprint works great. Is that you can then come in. This is going to become a stencil for our next print. I am going to print it right here. Now this tape's in the way. This tape's in the way. It's all right. But I think I can put this right here, and I'll be able to screen print this next week on Tuesday. So I put it face down, and I can tape it down so it doesn't move. And I may have to put some tape here along the perimeter, but we can do that on Tuesday before we print. There you go. That's how you make a paper stencil. It's that easy. You just cut it and get it ready, and then we'll put it on our screen.
It'll protect it, and we'll be able to print those shapes. All right.